Should find out what my Arsenal Rewards audience think about tonight's game. How are you guys feeling ahead of this one?
Personally, I'm quite confident. I did want to ask you a question. You mentioned the fact that if we win today, obviously we're top of the group, we're going through, it's happy days. How much of complacency could be a killer today? How much of a problem could that be?
I don't think it'll be a problem. I think, the boys at the moment, whoever plays just want to win, and I think when you're so confident and you've got such a special season, because I think it's been like this since the beginning of the season, I think it's like you're just flying every game. You just feel like you've got the atmosphere, you're playing at home, you've got the fans that are playing with you pretty much, because all the fans have been awesome this season. Even them little moment where you could see when Saliba scored their own goal, where them little moment where maybe last season fan would have just booed or just got a bit frustrated. They just straight away, come on, it's no problem, boys. Let's get back into it. And then, so I think at the moment, nothing. We don't fear anything. Everything's just going our way. So hopefully it'll carry on tonight.
Yeah, on that, can I ask a question, please? I just want to know, how do you guys feel about the lack of rotation going into a game like this? Because personally, I feel we've been able to expertly keep riding that momentum. We've been naming the same team more or less week in, week out. Yes, there's been a couple of changes, but where do you lot rank with that? How do you lot feel? Because as fans, we always kind of moan, this person needs a rest, that person needs a rest. Jesus is playing, Saka is playing. And obviously, on top of that as well, I'd say you as a player, was you one of them that was always in the manager's ear, I want to play, you don't necessarily care what competition it is?
You know what? I've said it earlier on, I think it was last week, I said it back when I was playing, there was not much rotation. And for me to play I needed Thierry Henry to get a red card or be injured, and that was hard, right? So exactly. So it was really hard for me to get a chance to play. All I had was Carling Cup and FA Cup sometimes. So this modern football, when there's much more rotation, is kind of something new for me, because I would have loved to have that when I was playing. I would have, enjoyed it playing more. So as much as you as a fan probably think, I should rotate maybe a little bit more, personally, I've seen it when I was playing. Player can play 2 games a week, Thierry Henry used to just play every single game. He never rested, And like you say, when you score goals like Jesus is doing, scoring goals, playing well, or Saka at the moment, why would you want to be rested? You want to carry on playing. You don't feel tired when you score goals and you play well. You feel tired when the team are not performing, you're not performing, then you feel even more tired. But when you score goals and you just don't feel tired, you just want to carry on playing.
I don't know what fatigue is.
No fatigue, man.
When do strikers typically hit form and peak and things like that? Because obviously playing for a top club, Arsenal, Eddie's having to learn on the job, but he's still almost a baby in strikers' terms. So when do you expect strikers to hit maturity and maybe challenge Jesus and stuff like that?
Well, I'm going to tell you something that Arsene Wenger told me was normally a striker get to the top of his career at 28 years old.
So he's got a while.
But it's what happened, before he gets to that age, because obviously the more football you can play, the better you will be. Being on the bench and coming on 10 minutes, 15 minutes aren't really enough of a full season. You've got a play, you've got to have the experience of battling against the best defender in the world. Otherwise, you just kind of stay at the same level. You can't really progress. You've got to play. But I guess at the moment, with Jesus being as good as he has been this season, it's tough for him to gain the team.
I want to get the thoughts of some of the guys about the first 45 minutes. So who wants to jump in and
I think, I think you lot echoed it perfectly in that, we've played well, we've moved the ball forward, probably just lacking a bit of quality in the final third. I think we look at threat from set pieces. We just need to up the intensity out there. I think PSV have been good off the ball. Gakpo's been kept quiet, but there's been a couple of times against the break of play where they've somewhat troubled us, and as you lot said, every time you don't take the lead you run the risk of conceding. So I think while tired legs start around an hour mark within PSV, there should be gaps to exploit, and we still have Martinelli and Cole on the bench, not that I necessarily want them on. So I think it's a case of when, not if we score, but we ultimately need to do that.
Yeah, very much so. Anyone get the thoughts of some of these guys in here? The spokesman.
I just love it, man. You could call me that. On a serious note, kind of building on what we said from the first half, or better better yet at half-time. We just needed to get that goal. We obviously did that. I think the midfield changes made the difference because we was losing a bit of control. I think PSV had a lot of encouragement, and specifically Odegaard and Partey, they gave us another dimension. Xhaka could roam forward kind of with the luxury of his partner Partey showing for it and being his chaperone. And yeah, we got the goal. Tomiyasu looked good, got no complaints, vital 3 points, and you know, we're top now, and you know, it's great for us, really, truly.
It's good
What
news.
can I say, man?
We like that.
Yeah.
Happy days.